We have here verse 52 of the 8th chapter of the Gospel of John. Jesus is in this rising tension with the religious leaders who keep accusing him, really refusing to hear what he's actually saying and making increasingly slanderous accusations against him, that he's a demon, he's a Samaritan, and so on, that sort of thing. Jesus has just said now to them that anyone who keeps the words that he is speaking, the words that he is in possession of, that person will never behold death. And that just sets these people off even more, as we see in the retort that comes now in verse 52. Apon, from lego, I say. This is the third person plural, aorist active indicative. Un is in some manuscripts, it's the conjunction postpositive, so they therefore said auto to him, the dative singular masculine pronoun, hoi udaioi, the subject of the verb. So the Jews therefore said to him, nun, the adverb indeclinable means now, egnokamen, first person plural, perfect active indicative. Now we have really come to know and be fully persuaded, that would be the sense of it, hoti, that, daimonion, the word for demon, this is the accusative, of course, of that neuter noun, ekes, second person singular, present active indicative, driving the point, him, home to Jesus individually, personally, in the singular here. Now we know that you really do have a demon, would be the force of it. Abram, the nominative of the name Abraham, apethanen, this is the second aorist of the word apothnesko, I die. Here we have the third person singular, aorist active indicative, second aorist in form. So Abram died, kai hoi prophetai, also died. The point here they're driving at is that Jesus seems to have made a claim that anyone who keeps his words is never going to die. He's never going to behold death, is actually what Jesus said, which is a little bit of a different sense, but they, of course, seize on what has to be the most absurd construction of Jesus' words. So Abram died. The prophets have died. The implied point here is you certainly can't be claiming to be greater than Abraham, greater than the prophets, that you would make such a claim when in fact they, of course, have died. How could you possibly want us to believe something so outrageous, would be the sense of it. Kai su, the second person singular pronoun, you, leges, you say, so that's emphatic now, and you say, ian. If takes the subjunctive as we have it here, and also we have the subjunctive there. If anyone or someone, ton logon mu, if anyone, the word of me, a little bit different from what Jesus said. Jesus had used the expression, the of me word, which could mean more the word that I possess, the word that I'm passing on to you, the word of which I am a trustee, would be the sense of it, whereas this personalized it a little bit more. If anyone's, speaking of his word in particular, terese, third person singular, this is the aorist active subjunctive. So if anyone the word of me keeps, ume, same emphatic form here that Jesus did use. And then gusetai is from the word guomai, means to taste. This is the third person singular, aorist middle in form, subjunctive. So if anyone keeps my word, he will not taste. Thanatou takes the genitive here. Ace ton iona, will not taste death forever. Well, Jesus had said he wouldn't behold death, which may have a little bit more of a profound sense. Obviously, people who belong to Christ will in some sense or other taste death. The New Testament doesn't deny that, but it certainly indicates that the taste of death is not going to be that bitter kind of experience. The taste of death is going to be sweet in the sense that it transports us into a vastly preferable situation. So again, they've more or less taken what Jesus is saying and tried to put the worst possible construction on it to make Jesus come out looking as absurd, as insane as they possibly can. And as Jesus himself has repeatedly made the point, they are blind. They're blind to what he's saying. They're missing it. They're intentionally avoiding it. And so the words that Jesus has pronounced are in fact proven by the very response that they offer.